Hey guys, I'm really in the mood to record, so let's do it right now. So let's follow up on some of the projects that have been ongoing for quite a while here. I just wanted to show that I've pretty much finished the bee building, and I'm still building all the alvearies to fit in it, but I've extended all these little places out by enough to get 2 more alvearies into them. And I don't have them all built yet, but they're getting pretty close. So the building's all together, the piping and wiring is all done below, so everything is all wired up. I don't know if this thing's gonna keep up with putting oh wow, it's out of wood again. It runs out of wood so fast now. Yeah, I don't know if that's gonna keep up with putting frames in here. I'll talk about a possible better solution to that in a bit. But yeah, just, did the familiar stuff here. This is all set up the same as everything else. I can show, oh yeah, cool. Combs coming in. I have Vis bees here producing memory combs for me, which, the reason I want memory combs is for these intellect drops. Now, why did I get 2? I only clicked once. That was weird. These can be put together with a bottle to make bottles of enchanting. And since I don't have, since these bees are no longer explorers, I don't have a, oh, it looks like this Vis bee is, yeah, this isn't a super bee, this is just one I happen to have around, because I wanted some enchanting drops real quick, so I didn't bother actually making a new, super bee and inoculating it with the Vis species serum. We'll probably do that in a bit, but, we might only run this for a little bit, but yeah, other than some random bees I have scattered around here and out there, none of these are explorers anymore. They're all Purify Aura effect bees. So I'm having a little bit of trouble getting my experience together now, because you'll notice I'm not using my normal sword, because that one is just about broken. It has like 3 hits left on it, and I don't want it to break because it has looting 3 on it. And it's too expensive to repair in an anvil, so I have to use the uncrafting table, which takes 46 levels, so it's pretty expensive. Do need to move these barrels around a little bit. But yeah, let's talk about moving items around in here. We will talk about bee products in a bit, but for right now I want to talk just a little bit about frames. So we're using these pneumatic tubes right now to move frames around. Well, it would be if we had any wood in there. Let's go get some. So yeah, fabricators make them. The transposer pulls one out each time the timer ticks, and then they just go along the tubes, which are connected to a pretty long pneumatic tube network. They take a very long time to reach their destination. I think I'm losing a lot of... I think that's causing me some various problems. I'll see like a whole row of frames going to one place, and that's not right. It should just be sending 1 to one place and not trying to send 20 to the same place, and then one will go in, then the rest will have to turn around and try to go to the next destination. So that's not great. And it's so much distance. They take a long time to get there. They only move that fast. There's some stuff you can do. Apparently you can make, what is it, mag tubes? Oops. Let's try to clear that. Yeah, so these mag tubes, I think they can speed up items. They're sort of like gold transport pipes, the red power equivalent of those, but they take blutricity to work. We could maybe try those, but I'd really like to use a better solution. So it seems to me like a router would be a very nice way to do that, because they can move items immediately. But actually, before we look at that, let me talk about this a little bit more. So the trick with a router... well, the trick with this building is that these are kind of far away. I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 blocks between each one. And a router requires all of its machines, as it calls them, things with inventories, to be touching each other in order to be considered part of the network it can put items into. So what I'm not quite following is how I would hook up like one router for managing frames in that entire building. The best I've been able to come up with is something like this, where you have an item in between inventories. Now, alvearies can't touch each other. That's one thing about them. They have to have at least one block of space in between. I'm actually doing something, I'll talk about that in a moment, but I'm actually doing something in here. Like, you'll notice that corner, these barrels aren't actually touching each other. But in the corner here, since I have this on me, might as well use it to get up, I have a barrel with 1 cobblestone in it. Same thing over here. Just so that that's acting as a pipe, just so items will go through it and be able to be put into these inventories. So that's the best I've been able to come up with so far. Either a barrel with 1 cobblestone, and I was trying out a bunch of other possible things. The item IO from Railcraft seems to actually work pretty well, because, you know, without this here, if I say put some wooden planks into somewhere, it doesn't know where to put them. But if I put this here, they all go in there. And this sort of acts like it has an inventory, but doesn't actually. So the router just bypasses it and goes in there. You know, I could have a machine filter upgrade in this, and anything with an inventory here, and it would go there. But is there... Yeah, so question to you guys. Is there anything that's like a factorization pipe, like that I can just put in between inventories that I want to be connected, but that I never want an item to go into? Or is like a barrel with 1 item of a type you're not moving around the standard way to do that? Because if there's a better way to do it than that, I would love to know about it, because I'd really like to use a router in place of that timer system. But maybe Applied Energistics would be the way to go. We're going to actually be looking at Applied Energistics a little bit later in this episode. It's been a long time in coming. I know it's like the one of the few mods I haven't touched at all. Actually, just out of curiosity, what mods have I not used? Applied Energistics, modular power suits. Anything else that I haven't touched at all? Charge pads, I guess. What's that? Okay, I don't know what all this is. I guess it's just, oh yeah, like you step on these things and they charge up your gear that takes energy or something. What else have we not used? Energy. That's thermal expansion. I think we've used most of these at this point. So, charge pads, Applied Energistics, modular power suits. I don't really like what modular power suits does. I don't think I would want to wear any of the things that it gives you. It's, yeah, I don't know. Maybe we'll try them someday, but I'm not a fan of them. Nuclear control, I guess, is a small one. We should figure out, oh, well, we've used some of those items. Yeah. Power converters. Ooh, there's another one. Okay. Okay, looks like that's about it. Anyway, so, right, we'll be, oh, hey, go away. Go away. We'll be messing with that a little bit later. But first, let's follow up on another long-running project that has been pretty much finished. The Wither Skeleton Farm. So yeah, you know, we've been doing a lot of work on that. Lots of quarrying in the nether and various things. I had to move it up another block. So I'd already moved the entire structure up a block. And it still wasn't spawning anything in the bottom layer, so I had to do it again. I'll show you the exact heights, just in case you, for some reason, want to set up one of these yourself. I say for some reason because it's probably kind of ridiculous that I did it this way, because there's so many easier ways to spawn wither skeletons. I mean, I could use an auto spawner, I could use soul shards, but I chose to do it the hard way. So if anybody else wants to do it the hard way, or wants to do it in vanilla Minecraft, I'll show you the exact numbers. Because all nether fortresses, I believe, generate at the same height. I'll have to verify that. I think that's the case. Not 100% sure. You know, there's structures that go up and down, but I think the base height is the same. Yeah, okay, I'm going to check on that. I'll put some text on screen when I either confirm or deny it, because I don't want to be giving information like that and not knowing whether it's accurate or not. But yeah, so used my quarry a bunch more. All of the space in the immediate area is cleared. There's a little bit more that's further away that I'd still like to clear. But for the most part, it's actually in pretty good shape. So we're going to go over there and take a look at what I have done. Alright, so here it switches from netherrack to glass viewers. I wanted a block that was that mobs could not spawn on, that you can put minecart tracks on, and that was relatively plentiful. I did need something that conducted redstone for these to work, so I used blocks of zinc for that, but glass viewers were a pretty good choice otherwise. So, you know, you can see this is our Wither Skeleton Farm, and most of the land around here is cleared. Like, there's nothing... If I stand here Can I even see any land? There's a little bit I can see there. A little bit there. Yeah, this big cave right here is part of my problem. But yeah, this is working actually quite well. I say that, and then there's absolutely nothing in here. I get these weird little light glitches. Like, this is where blaze fires used to be. There we go, I fixed it. But yeah, spawn rates are quite good, despite what you see there. It has 4 functional layers now. Until I moved it up 2 blocks from where it originally was, which I unfortunately did 1 block at a time, so I had to move the entire structure up twice. That was annoying. It was only spawning in the top 3 layers. But the bottom one works now. It gives me wither skeletons and blazes and such things. I should be wearing better armor for this. I'm going to change as soon as I finish killing these guys. There we go. And yeah, I've gotten a good number of wither skeleton skulls from it. Clearing out the land directly above here was an interesting process. Let's see, how did that go? I set up a quarry up directly on top of this thing with the intention of... Okay, so that was the only group of wither skeletons that spawned in here, but that's unusual. Normally I get like several groups all over the place, but you know, you can see as you can see with blazes in here, this is a considered a valid wither skeleton spawning space, because if a blaze can spawn there, a wither skeleton can. So to give you the numbers, you want your feet at level 62 for your bottom layer. Then go up 3 blocks, 65, go up 3 blocks, 68, up 3 more, and 71. And that is the most spawning layers you can get into such a thing. And if you remember way back, you'll remember what the intersection looked like, where what the fortress looked like before we built this. But anyway, so yeah, I set up my quarry right above this, because there was a chunk of land on top of it, with the intention of stopping it before it started hitting this thing, because, you know, I don't want to quarry out my whole trap. That would wipe out all my work I spent building it. So, you know, that was taking a while. I wanted to stay sort of in the area and make sure I stopped it before it hit this. So, you know, naturally I went down here and started... Oh, I wanted to fix this ladder. This is supposed to be one taller. There we go. So yeah, naturally I went down here and started killing some stuff. This layer does work. It's probably because I ran right into the area and came here immediately that I'm not seeing anything spawning, but stuff does spawn here, I'm sure of it. So yeah, I went down here and started farming wither skeletons, and accidentally hit a zombie pig man, and he killed me right there. So at the time that he killed me, the quarry was actually getting pretty close to my structure, so that was like terrible timing. So, you know, I ran back in, tried to get my gear, and actually ended up losing most of it because it takes a long time to get here, and it was chunk loaded because I had the quarry running at the time. And yeah, so I really only had 1 shot to get it. So I got some of my stuff. I still had my nice sword that I don't have on me. Lost my pick. I'm using a fortune pick, because that's what level 30 enchant gave me. It doesn't have unbreaking on it. Still have my shovel. Lost my axe. This one's not enchanted. Lost my bow. Lost my pants. Goggles. Yep. So, anyway, yeah, lost a bunch of stuff doing that, and by the time I got back the second time and realized my stuff was gone, you know, the quarry was hitting the structure down there. So I was like, okay, how am I going to stop that? Because it was way up in the sky. I didn't have a jetpack I could use, so I just pillared up as quick as I could and got over there and shut it off. But it was kind of funny. Shame I didn't catch it on video. But yeah, let's go back home and we'll talk about some other stuff. Alright, so here's a strange block that I managed to get. Has a very long description. Let's just change our GUI scale just a little bit. Just a little bit. Can I right-click it? No, can't right-click it to go back. So we can actually read that says, you ran into a serious bug. If you have legitly acquired this block, that is not how you spell acquired, please report it immediately. Not how you spell that either. And I don't think legitly is a word. Anyway, enough critiquing Greg's English. Something, something, something. I should probably report this to Greg, because I did not cheat to get that block, but I did get a crash in the middle of doing some stuff with my machines. So I was changing the layout of this a little bit. I had upgraded, let's see, I've upgraded my compressor to a singularity compressor, extractor to a centrifuge extractor, macerator to a rotary macerator, so, you know, just all the advanced machines variants of that. And I didn't have space. One of them was on this row, I think the extractor. I didn't have space to put a lever to keep it powered up. I thought I could do it below. I sent a redstone signal to this block because it was sitting right here. Then later I realized that was actually shutting off my matter fabricator, so I didn't want that. So I figured, okay, I can just wrench all these down. And, well, no, it's right-clicking like I had a wrench in my hand. Take all these down and move them to a better spot. So these are all in the top row, and I can put levers on them easily. As I was taking down the last one that was sitting right here, for no reason that I have yet been able to determine, I think this was also a bug, I got a big explosion right here. It wasn't too big. It only took out a few of the machines, but one of them was the matter fabricator, so I had to rebuild that. That's not as big a deal as it used to be, just because we have the resources to do that every once in a while if we really have to. You know, it's a few iridium, but it's not so terrible. Actually, no, it's only one iridium plate, because you can make these without iridium if you want to. And yeah, so I remade my matter fabricator and laid everything out again. But one of the things that happened, once I had everything laid out, I tried to, let's see, the rotary macerator used to sit right here. And I was trying to put the chemical reactor there. For some reason I moved it over here, I forget why. When I placed that block down, I got a crash immediately. And then when I logged back in, I had that weird mangled block sitting in its place. And, you know, chemical reactor still in my inventory. Crash log said something about rotary macerator. So it's like there was some remnant of it left after the explosion. And Greg Tech got all confused and it tried to place there. And gave me this weird-ass block. You ran into... Okay. It's funny. That's the actual name of it. If I place this down, can I just... Oh, okay, I get machine parts. Okay, well, that block's gone. All right, well, you saw it. So yeah, we'll just put this... I should have tried picking that up with a wrench. That was dumb. Tooltip even mentioned wrenches. But anyway, that's no big deal. I'd actually rather have the machine parts than a useless broken block. So that's all that was. Yeah, so this shooter cart... yeah, I figured that entity detector monster was the thing that I needed to attach to it. Comments on last episode confirmed that. So let's go ahead and just do that now. Let's see. If I want to modify this, I have to put it in here, right? Oh, does it attachment? Add-on? Add-on. Okay. So do it. 5 seconds. Real quick. So let's pick this up, and I'm just going to set it down on one track right here and see if it has a UI that tells me about what it's supposed to do. And if so, we'll see if we can... I want to know if I can, like, filter the type of thing it shoots at. Nope. Just tell it, shoot at monsters or don't. Okay. So let's go find a monster, and... let's see, I need some arrows. Have a few, but not enough, because I don't have an infinity bow, so I'm actually consuming them as I use them. And I'm not going to use my 30 levels on that, because I want to use 46 of them on a sword. So I'm going to go find a monster, and we'll see if we can shoot at it. Oh man, what happened here? Must have been flux lightning. Guess we had a little forest fire. Good thing it didn't spread more than that. Man, you wouldn't believe it, but I could not find a single monster outside just wandering around on the surface in broad daylight. So I decided to come to the nether and try this on zombie pigmen, since they are our intended targets anyway. So let's just put it down right here and say, yes, shoot at monsters. And, oh, it moved. Here's an arrow. It moved. Somebody said to fuel it up. Hey, look at that! Don't shoot at me. I think I just missed. Neat! Oh, hey, and it doesn't even make them mad. They don't know what they're getting hit by. That's nifty. Okay, cool. So it does have to be fueled up, which apparently means it's going to be moving. If I were to disable that, well, I want to... kind of want to get one of these other guys over here and try it out again, but I guess I got to pick this up, which means it'll lose its fuel. Another thing I was thinking with this is we could use it not only for... Don't hit it with the pick. not only for clearing zombie pigmen on our track up there, but also for filtering out things that are not wither skeletons in the in our wither skeleton farm. But I don't think that's going to work because you can't tell it what type of monster to attack, just any monster at all. Is there anything that you can tell specific instructions to attack these monsters and not these? Because there have been a couple of times I've wanted an item like that, and I have not found one yet. So yeah, that just seems to... So that at least lets us use that cart, but it also doesn't solve the other problem we had, which was how to ride with it. Actually, maybe I'll try this. Okay, let's see if I can just... Maybe I can just put it in front of me when I ride on that nether track, and power each one individually with booster tracks, and it would just sort of go ahead of me without them being linked up as trains. Let's see if that even works. Actually, I'm just going to send it along this track without a minecart behind it, and then if that works, we can figure out how to get the two in sync. That ladder's way too slow to climb. I should slope this down so I can just ride the track up. But actually, let's not do what I just said I would do, and instead, let's put this here and get in here and see if we can just do... Oh, no, that didn't move it at all. Oh, okay. I could extend this a little bit. Okay, let's do that. Oops. Okay, so this goes here, and then that goes there. And will they both... Apparently neither of them will go at all if I do that. What? Does this cart just not... Are Steve's carts incapable of moving on booster tracks? No? It moves, just not very fast. Okay. Yeah, that didn't look promising. Let's push it over here. Pick it up again. Try that again. Yeah, that's lovely. It goes very slowly. So, great. The coal engine's really slow. I don't know of another engine I could use, and you can't just push it with the booster tracks. So, seems like the only way I could make that work and have it go as fast as a normal minecart is maybe with... Well, maybe I could use Railcraft's high-speed tracks. Those are kind of dangerous, because if you crash into anything, it'll cause a big explosion and lots of fire and kill you, and destroy all your stuff. Or... Hey, wait a minute. Wait a minute. Why am I bothering with this shooter at all? I could use Railcraft. Railcraft gives me a much better solution for that particular use case. I could just use a steam locomotive. Be kind of a pain to keep it... Well, no, it wouldn't be so bad to keep it watered in the nether. I could just use a Zycraft tank, same way we did with our water mills in there. Okay, yeah, a steam locomotive would be the way to go to just run over zombie pigmen. So maybe someday we'll do that, but those guys aren't being a huge problem. I could also just set down... What are you? Oh, you were the one I used to drill holes in the thing. That's right. Ha! Totally forgot about it. And I took the minecart with me that I wanted to leave up there. Okay. Well, just have to remember to come and get that when I want to go up there again. Anyway, let me get organized and we'll do something else. Alright, so let's try this Applied Energistics mod that everybody's raving so much about. So I think I have the components I need here for the most basic setup that I'll need. What I'm going to do with this is I got a number of tips last episode to use it on the... to use it for the aspects, crystallized aspects here, because these are filling up my chests way too quickly. You know, they've already gone through 3 and are working on filling up the 4th. Oh, actually, 4 and are working on filling up the 5th, because I had this chest over here before I had soulful wax. There comes some now. Seeing through the world there. Oh, let's see if I can spot this. Something funny happens over here. It's really hard to see, but when I was seeing through the world before, some of the Mine Factory Reloaded rubber trees had generated under the volcano, like just in their own little pockets. Yeah, I can see 2, one there and one there. Yeah, you can see that. That's a Mine Factory Reloaded rubber tree, and its own little pocket of air underneath the basalt in the volcano. So that's pretty funny. Just something about the way those generate. Just clears out the space after the volcano is generated, I guess. But anyway, right. So I wanted to set up an ME system for storing those crystallized aspects and see if that can work better than doing it with just plain old chests and tubes going into them. So, from what I've read very briefly, we're just doing some basic stuff here because I'm not all that familiar with the mod. I need an ME controller before I can do much of anything else. So that's 4 quartz, 4 iron, and one of these advanced processors. So I need to use a quartz cutting knife on some of the silicon, which was just smelted quartz dust. And some redstone. Okay. Oh yeah, quartz cutting knife was like that. So I need 4 quartz. Quartz is here. 4 iron. And some redstone and a diamond. Okay. So here we should have a processor assembly. Okay, so that has 200 uses. Not bad. Let's smelt it. That was quick. So there's our advanced processor. And this should make us a controller. Good. Now, we also need an ME drive. And or an ME chest. I'm not sure which you need, like if they're interchangeable, or if you need both. We'll probably make both and see how they interact with each other. So that's 2 basic processors, which is the same as the advanced one, just with gold in place of the diamond. Okay, so I'm going to make that. All right, there's our processors. What did that just say? Basic processor assembly. I thought the tooltip said something funny. Both at once. Good. And how was that? It was like this, I think. Oops. Like this. Okay, so here is an ME drive, and we need some storage to put into that drive. Hang on, let's see if I can just... I'm going to set this down. Question is, can I just pick it up with a pick? I'm going to try that. Yes, okay. Picking up with a pick works fine. All right, so I can interface with this offline. Power is low. ME drive. Okay, so into this thing, we need to put... let's go with a 4K storage. You can build different sizes. I don't know how far this will get me. We'll try it and find out. 1K is the smallest. I'm just going to go straight for 4K. So we need another of these processors and 3 of these storage cells, which is also a processor. Okay, so we need 4 processors. We're going to make the storage cells and then make that and put it into the drive. All right, so here's our drive. That's 4K of storage. We can put it in here. What does this tell us now? It still tells us low power, so we have to power this thing up, apparently. Let's just swap out a couple of these redstone energy cells I have spare for some of them that are filled. And put this down here. Is this set all the right way? Yeah. So we'll have to figure out... I think this can take both MJ and EU. We'll just give it MJ for the moment. Okay. So online, 9 units per tick. Does it continuously use... It does continuously use energy. 9 units per tick. And let's see, what is it? It's 5 units per MJ. I think that's what it is. So this is using just under 2 MJ per tick. I don't like the way this text looks. This is scaled wrong. It's all ugly. Anyway, okay, so that's ready to go, but I can't actually... Okay, can I put it... I can't put anything in those slots. I don't know what this is for. But I need 1 more item to use this, maybe 2 more. I know the wiki says I need an ME access terminal, and I wasn't clear on whether I need an ME chest or not, but let's make this and see if it lets me get at the stuff on the drive and put new stuff into it. And if not, we'll make an ME chest and see what that does for us. So we need one of these ME cables, which is made with quartz fiber, which I've already made. And a conversion matrix, which is like that. Okay. All right, here we go. So can I use it with this? I think these can just be placed in any arrangement, just as long as they're touching each other. So that lit up. Okay, cool. So can I put like some glass in there? Oh, Yeah, okay. Oh, oh. That's neat. Okay, 36 bytes for that. If I take half of this out... What the... Oh, okay. Oh, I press E to get out of the UI and A to move left. That's why I keep typing EA in there. Wait, 34. What was it before? 33. How does this system work? Okay, so 0 bytes. What if I put like 1 glass and 1 iron? That takes a little while to update. Like I'm clicking it and then a moment later it... Okay, so 63 types. So there's a limit on the number of types. That's the number of what do you call them? Crystallized aspects in there is less than that number of types. So let's actually go again. Okay, first let's see if we can pipe items into that. That might be what I need the ME chest for, but maybe not. So. Yeah, this is usually what I always want to know, whether I can pipe items into something. Does not connect. Okay, so I need either maybe an ME chest or an ME import bus, possibly. ME stands for matter energy. Oh. No, this might be for interacting with machines. Let's try the ME chest. See if that does the job for us. Chesty. So it's another one of these. Okay. All right, there's our ME chest. So can I interact with you? Yes. Can I put stuff in you? No. Okay, so this, right. This is probably... Yep, okay, so that lets me access the inventory of that thing. So I can take that out, put it in here, and then there's my redstone. Cool. Okay. Oh, again, I'm going to be doing that a lot. All right. So what if I have this in here and then try to pipe into the chest? Can I do that? Maybe. Maybe. It does connect to it, so that's promising. So we might not actually need this at all for the particular case we're looking at. All right. So gate. Oh, man. I'm down to 1 hot arc at gate. Got to make some more of those. Okay, let's give you a piece of glass and a piece of redstone. Okay, good. So those go in. What if... Okay, so I guess... I'm wondering how I would... How do I get... If I wanted to use the ME drive and, stack up a bunch of drives in here, how would I pipe items into it? I'm going to have to investigate that and figure it out. But I think for now the ME chest will do what we want. Let's try something out. Okay, so if this is in here and I break this. Okay, I get those 2 things back. All right. Let me... Oh, and here's another question. What if I do this... And where's my thing? What if my system is offline? So we're gonna do that. 12 units per tick. It is online, it says, so that still has some stored, maybe? I want to see if do I just lose access to my items if it runs out of power? Okay, that's draining. This will probably become unlit. Okay, offline. Power is low. So, can't mess with the ME terminal, and I cannot get at my stuff. Okay, so we have to have power on for that to let me do anything with it. So it just takes a constant input of some power. Oh, 12 per tick with the chest there. Okay, so it's still there. It doesn't, lose the items if it runs out of power or anything. If I take that out, now it's only 9 per tick. Okay, so it's 1 per item attached? What was that thing we just broke? That was the access terminal. So do we even need that? Actually, wait a minute. Can't we just do this? Chest and controller. Put a drive in here. And there we go. Okay. So what if I want to put a lot of stuff in there? Like several stacks of something. Give me a bunch of cobblestone. Yeah, okay, so it stacks well beyond 64. I don't know how much. 72 bytes. Dink, 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 dink. 123 bytes, okay. Alright, so it looks like that's all we would need. A controller, a power source. Oh, that's up to 9 again. Does it depend on how many items are in it? Okay, so it pulls out by a stack at a time. Okay, okay. We're learning. Does the power consumption go down if this thing is empty? Or what? Maybe it's... Maybe it's that the chest is 9 and the drive is 3 or something? Oh, 10? 11? I don't know how this thing works, but anyway. Looks like that is the minimal setup we could use to just pipe things in and have them stacked up in one of these drives. So based on how quickly that was filling up, I think we're going to need more than 4K of storage. What would it cost to make a bigger one? Let's see. Let's do this. So 64K is the biggest one, and it's just a bunch... okay, advanced processor. Did we already make one of those? Yeah. So it's a diamond, and... Oh. Okay, okay. So it's a fair number of those things, a bunch of quartz. But if that lets us have such a compact system as this, then that's pretty good. So I'm still going to have to figure out how to power it, but okay, let's do this. Let's take this over to our B place and see how many of those aspects we can fit into it. Alright, so I went ahead and emptied out this one silver chest, and with just those in it, it's already using more than half of the 4K capacity here. So I'm going to go ahead and say that's not nearly enough. We're just going to go ahead and build a, since we have the quartz for it, I think quartz is going to be our main limiting factor. Oh yeah, I was being a chest, or being a transport pipe, I guess, and just cleared out my inventory so I'd actually have room to pick up stuff. So yeah, we're just going to go ahead and, since we have the quartz for it and the resources we need, I'll make a 64K storage drive. And if we ever run out of space in that, which we might, because that only gives me 16 times as much as this. So yeah, we could conceivably run out of that in not too huge an amount of time if we're getting this amount of output from our bees. Though we won't be, because I only need to run the flux bees for so long, and Dragon Egg Energy Siphon doesn't do that much. But anyway, if we run out of that, I'll figure out the how to use the ME drive with this, and we'll probably do something else with this long before that happens. So I'll learn how the rest of this works. Yeah, cool. So that's a very cool system. I probably should have gotten into it earlier. I wasn't avoiding it deliberately. I just sort of was putting it off longer and longer. It's like, yeah, Applied Energistics, I'll learn about it someday. But yeah, okay, so I'm going to make a 64K drive, and we'll try hooking this up so that everything that doesn't go into a barrel goes into a chest right here. We do still need to figure out our power situation, because we can't just sit this next to it, and, well, yeah, that's draining when it doesn't need to. Okay, so I'm going to make the bigger storage unit, and I'll be back. Actually, hang on. There's another thing we need to try first. Since we're not using Buildcraft to move items around there, we are currently using red power and may use Factorization in the future. I just want to make sure that this plays nicely with... what are we looking for? The chest. It plays nicely with red power and Factorization item transport, just to be sure, because I don't entirely trust it to... okay, so that does connect. That's a good sign. So if I just take out... Okay, so I'm going to take Victus, stick it in here. It relays it, and it goes in. Okay, okay. So it works with red power, definitely. Which makes me feel like it'll probably work for Factorization. Let's find out. So I take a router. I'm going to take 64 Victus, put it in here. And yes, good. So it can insert. Good. Okay, that's confirmed. So again, I'm going to make my 64K of storage, then we'll set it up. that was pricier than I expected. I'm going to have to clear my inventory, but we'll see if we can fit all of our aspects into it and set up the system to automatically pipe into them. Oh, okay, that took a lot of clicking, and oh man, air is rare. But I got them all in there. So it used a little less than half the total storage on this. Did something just make it... That was probably... Wait, no. I thought I heard something like a piston going off. That wouldn't make any sense. There's no pistons that automatically go off in this world. Maybe I imagined that. Anyway, so cool. All my aspects are stored in this drive now, and it's less than halfway full. Seems like new types seem to take a lot more storage space than, let's see, 26851, 27363. Yeah, new types take a lot more storage space than adding more of the same type. So, I think this is pretty stable nut. I got all the types in there, although this isn't actually all of the types. I think I'm still missing a couple here. Because I never did get the all 48 aspects to filter out here. I think I'm going to get, like, it's 2 more? I think I have 46. And the only way to find them is just to look in these centrifuges and see if they've ended up in here and jammed them up, because any items that don't get filtered up here end up in the centrifuge. But anyway, let's get this hooked up to our relay here. So I can just take this out. Ooh, carrying a lot of stuff in there. And... yeah, we'll have to figure out power. I'm not going to do that just yet. But I think if we just stick this here and stick this here, let's put this... Yeah, let's put it here. Of course, I need to move this all back because the wall moved. But that's okay. For now, this will be fine. All right, so I guess that's... oh, right, got to put this in here. That does make it take more energy when there's a drive in there, but I guess that makes sense. All right, cool. Let's take a few of these and just make sure they make their way where they need to. And let's see, this relay... Okay, yeah, it does full stacks at a time. This thing was actually jamming up. I was getting so many aspects in here that it filled all 9 slots before it could put them out. So I solved that by just adding 2 iron pipes here. So if anything can't go in, it'll just bounce back, then bounce back up and try again immediately. So that should solve my problem. But I'd really like to... Actually, I'll probably keep that if I do replace this with a router. But yeah, please let me know if there's a better way to, like, say, connect this with this than by just putting a barrel with 1 cobblestone in it or something in this spot, or in that spot in there under this block. Or, you know, an item IO is... They're kind of expensive. I don't want to use them for this if I can just use a cheap barrel instead. But yeah, I'm hoping there's some better solution for that. Okay, this went in. I wasn't paying attention to the others, but this definitely made it. Cool. All right, so I think that's set up other than power, and I'm not yet sure how I will do that. We'll figure it out later. But anyway, let's see what else is on our list. It's just about episode length now, but maybe we can get to another thing or two. All right, here are a couple of more things. I mentioned this aromatic lump a little while ago, and I didn't really know what it did. I have since found out that it works in a swarmer in place of royal jelly, and is apparently significantly more effective than royal jelly is. So if we use a whole bunch of aromatic lumps, then we can probably get some swarm hives. And I actually want quite a lot of swarm hives now. Here, glacial bees. Let's give you a swarmer. I want a whole bunch of swarm hives because, as I've said before, this, I think I can put it there. It doesn't need to be down one. You can reform? Oh yeah, there it went. Okay. Right, aromatic lumps. I don't know how far 2 of them is going to get us. Okay, right, so the recipe for these uses an enchanting drop, and these are only produced by arcane bees. So I have my arcane species serum synthesizing in there. So we'll get some arcane bees going in the extra alvearies we have in here now. But for now, let's just put these 2 in here and see if we can get any swarm hives from them. Yeah, so the reason I want a bunch of swarmer princesses is because, right, none of these bees have the explorer effect on them anymore, and I don't have a good way to get large amounts of experience anymore. you know, this whole episode, we've been trying to level up to 46. Not actively trying, but need to be level 46 to fix our sword. But I don't really have a way to do it. I mean, I can stand here next to this one vis bee, but that'll take forever. So I want to set up the thing I mentioned a while ago, this enchanting room that uses a huge number of explorer bees to just give you so much experience you can just stand there and enchant like pow, 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 you know, one right after the other. And I did a little bit of checking in creative mode, and originally what I said was I wanted to have the maximum number of apiaries you could get into a space where they're all in range, and after checking creative mode, that is way beyond what's reasonable. So instead, I'm just going to make a floor out of apiaries. And to get the maximum range with one layer, I need 225 apiaries, which consequently needs 225 princesses, or rather queens, in them. So currently, if a bee does not have flowers around, it can just stay in an apiary forever with its effect affecting things around it, but it'll never die. So if I have swarmer princesses for that, with the explorer effect on them, I can use them in that experience farm. Now that's considered a bug and is fixed in a newer version of either forestry or extra bees, whichever one causes it. Forestry, yeah, because extra bees isn't involved here. That's explorer effect is from forestry, not extra bees. So we'll only be able to use that for so long, but by then maybe we'll be able to get 225 princesses from normal means. Although, man, that's a pretty tall order, because you know this is only how many slots? This is what, 9 by 9, so that's only 70. Wait, no, 9 times 9 is 81. Right, that's only 81 princesses. So we need like that's in reach. We just need a few gold chests full of princesses that we give the explorer effect to. But anyway, so that's why I want to mess with these swarmers. Okay, so they ate the 2 aromatic lumps, and hopefully a swarm hive will be produced somewhere around here, but I'm thinking I need to give them a whole lot more. So that's why I want to get arcane bees going. So yeah, just wanted to mention that. I think I have the impregnated casings now to be able to make that many apiaries. I've also been using them to make alvearies. Yes, that's plenty. So we're set there. Just getting the princesses is the issue. So yeah, Swarmer can maybe help us with that. We'll build a few more Swarmers and yeah, get arcane bees going so we can make more aromatic lumps to produce more Swarmer princesses. So I just wanted to talk about that a little bit and get it set up. So another thing, I'd like to do a little bit of testing with factorization. Actually, I don't want to use this block. I want to use the solar boiler. I just want to see how... I've heard that factorization steam is in fact the same as Railcraft steam. So I'd like to set up a... I want to set up a 1x1x1 boiler, high pressure, because that's what I have around. Actually, I could probably make a low pressure boiler real quick. Oh no, I only have one iron plate. Make a few more. Anyway, we'll go with high pressure. I want to see how steam generation from factorization compares to steam generation from Railcraft boilers. So let's set up a little race here. I want some tanks. We'll use Zycraft tanks for this because they're easy and can be relatively large. And some blocks, those will do fine. And I'm going to set up a factorization boiler next to this thing, and see how many mirrors I need to add. I need more liquiducts. Where'd all my liquiducts go? See how many mirrors I need to add before the factorization one will keep up with the Railcraft one. So I'm going to set that up, and I'll be right back. All right, here we go. This should do the trick. So side by side, we have two Zycraft tanks with that capacity. We have our little boiler right here and our solar boiler over here. And I've taken down all the mirrors, and we're going to start this up. And, oh, that needs water. Okay, let me get an aqueous accumulator real quick. All right, that's better. So we're going to fuel this guy up. And once you get up to just about 100, I'm going to start adding mirrors. and we'll see when the rates of steam going up equalize. Now, I wonder if I could use the multimeter to see how much, see in numbers how much liquid is going through a liquiduct. I'm not actually sure how specifically they'll tell you that. I don't think I can see those numbers. Liquid empty. Yeah, no, I can just see how much is actually in the liquiduct. Okay, cool. So this is generating steam, so it'll be pushing it out in just a moment. Let's put down a few mirrors here. Just say 3. So with 3 mirrors, okay, so it's that fast, and that's not pushing any out yet because it hasn't filled up its little buffer there. I could probably, well, no, once that gets up there, it'll push out once it gets above half, I think. Yep, there it goes. Okay, so how are you doing? Oh yeah, that's way faster. Okay, so we need to add a bunch more mirrors. Let's try filling in this whole row. We're just going to have to eyeball it. It'll be really hard to get like exact numbers for how much steam is being generated. 6, 7, 8, 9, 0. Okay. 2, 3. Okay, so that's still slower. I'm wondering if we could just use a Railcraft boiler to power up a Factorization steam turbine, because that might be more convenient in some ways. Okay, let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. 6, 7, 8, 9. All right, so it looks like that's pretty close to equal. Let's just... Here, let's do this. I'm going to reset the tanks. Come here, valve. And that will give us a little bit of a misleading result with this one over here, because it'll fill all the way up. But after the initial boost, we should be able to see if the numbers stay pretty close to the same. And in the interest of that, I'll click this one first, and then this one. Okay, so go down to half. Good. 6, 7. This is already 11. Okay, 12, 13. This one's catching up, I think. All right, let's see if this one passes this one. Nope, they're pretty close to the same. I think this is going just a tiny bit faster, but they're staying pretty close to... this one's 2,500 millibuckets ahead of this one. Oh, okay. So, well, see, it's weird the way they do it. It sort of goes in bursts, so it's hard to tell exactly how much is going. So something like, you know, if I take out 1 or 2 of these mirrors... So let's see, like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. So around 19 or 20 mirrors gets you as much steam as a single high-pressure boiler block. Very interesting. Okay. So cool. Now that we know that, if we have a situation where it might be convenient to interchange Railcraft and Factorization steam generation, then we can do so. So that is good to know. All right, I'm going to take this down, and then we'll get to the last thing on our list, and we're going to have to go quick because we're almost out of time. Well, no need to take it down. I'll just leave it here and harvest the steam for something later. No need to waste it. Since this is still hot, it'll produce a good bit more. Might actually fill that up. I don't know. We'll see. So I think the last thing we have to do is to look at our villager trading post a little more. Oh yeah, I still have this peat bog thing here. We'll get to that eventually. I should probably stop even putting that in my to-do list unless I'm definitely going to do it. But yeah, we don't have time to do much building here, but I think I can do at least a little bit. So what I found out since last time was that the embarking track is kind of meant to be used after you're already moving on a rail. So I would have a booster track and then some then the embarking track, so that it would pull in villagers and they're already moving. Now, okay, I didn't put those all back down. Okay, so let's get our materials together and we'll go over there and do a little bit of building. Oh, another thing I forgot to mention, I accidentally left the breeding toggle on after last episode, and this happened again. So they haven't all died yet. Yeah, okay, we're looking at 222 entities right now. It was slowing me down earlier, but it seems okay now, so I don't know if some of them died or what. But anyway, breeding toggle is currently off. Let's see, I can just leave that block there and they'll still be trapped. So we'll take out this booster track and move it over to here. Oh, okay. Now it's no longer powered. Shouldn't that be powered? Do I just need to update it? No. Because they're standing on a pressure plate there, right? How would I how would I be able to tell? I can't see a single thing in there. I might have to kill these guys. But okay, let's at least just try this. So we'll put this here, and I need my... Oh, okay, no, they're not on a pressure plate. That's being powered by this lever. That's what it is. Okay, so hang on. Before we do this, let's find this out. If I power booster track next to an embarking track, do they both get powered, or just the one? Okay, just the one. Alright, so I have to get a redstone signal to both of those. That's fine. So, actually, maybe I can probably... Can I just continuously power the embarking track? Let's try that. So, here we're going to put a dispenser. Oops. And see again if we can dispense minecarts, of which I have none on me, so let me go get them. Wonder if this thing's any better. Let's try building it. It sounds like it's specifically designed for that. Maybe it has more storage slots or something. So we'll put this in here with a minecart, and let's see what this does. No, it has fewer. Well, I wonder if there's a reason I need that. Oh, I'll bet... Okay, let me build another vanilla dispenser. Maybe they just don't work with Railcraft tracks at all. Let me check that. Alright, I have one of each on me. I'm guessing Railcraft makes these not work because minecart's stacked at 3, so you would get 3 times the storage space. So this is probably to balance that out. But let's just find out if this can put a minecart onto a regular track. It cannot. Okay, so it just spits it out. Good. Okay. Well, not good, but something. At least we know what's up with that. So this should be able to... Yeah, there we go. Okay, so that can dispense a cart. Good. So we will use the cart dispenser. Cannot use a normal one. We'll put that there, and pretty much we just want a pressure plate down there. Ooh, voice is giving out. I got to wrap this up. We would just want a pressure plate down there to trigger the dispenser and also power up this for a little while, and this. So all 3 of those. Which we can certainly do, but for now let's just simulate it. So I'll put you in there, and actually, you know, I want that to also be continuously powered. There's no reason to, yeah, all the pressure plate needs to do is just power the dispenser. But let's just do it manually here, see if we can pull out a villager. Huh. Cart probably doesn't like this block here. Let me, I can't break that block without releasing all of these guys. That's a bit of a problem. Alright, well, let's just do it. We'll deal with a lot of villagers running around here. So, I'm gonna kill this guy. Sorry. Gotta do it. Oh, boy. Yeah, this won't tell us much of anything. Because, okay, that actually just picked him up before it even got to the embarking track. Let's, that thing can have a larger radius. Okay, let's do this a little differently so we don't have to kill all these guys. I'm going to change the layout of this a little bit and have this pick him up from a greater distance. Alright, let's try it out like this. Oh, hang on. I want to make sure this, yeah, set the radius to 3 just to be sure. 2 should do it, but anyway, so these are continuously powered. Hopefully whenever a cart passes over either of them, it'll just pull in whatever's around. So we're just going to send this a signal and stand kind of back so it doesn't pick me up. Fail. Why the hell didn't that go? If I put a cart there myself, it should move. It doesn't. What? Man, why doesn't this work? Because normally, you know, that's powered. Damn it, Railcraft. Alright, what if we unpower it, dispense the cart, then power it? No, it doesn't. Why doesn't that go? Okay, well, at least that worked. And that did switch, but it didn't do it quickly enough, so it looks like we need to... Yeah, I set up a switch here to see if the villager detector would do its job. Probably need a repeater there. Okay, let's try this again like that. Oh, well, now that's pointing up. That's not actually... Or actually, yeah, that is what I want. Okay, so point it up and have the... no. Oh, why can't I just... Man, I'm feeling kind of stupid right now. Let's let's get this set up and try it out properly. So we're going to have the detector point this way, and the switch motor on there. Switching this track, which goes to these two places, either here or here. So if it does in fact switch, it'll go this way. If it doesn't switch, it'll go this way. So let's try this again and just push it. Okay, good. So it switched. And I just have this set to any villager now. That's the default setting. So any villager will go that way. Okay, good. So we've proven that we can sort these. I still have to figure out why this doesn't work. Probably need another type of track here or something that'll just get it going. But anyway, I'm over an hour already, so whew, better wrap this up. But yeah, we'll do more with this soon. So yeah, see you guys later. Thanks for watching.